Vasishta continued, "He in whom the veil of ignorance has been rent asunder, and in whom there is no desire, shines with the light of pure intelligence. All his doubts are at rest, and he illumines all around him. He who comes into contact with him who is free from doubt and who is independent, free from all dependencies, is also purified and illumined." So being independent means being independent of all notions. And it is good if you can be in the company of such people. There seems to be quite a lot of people in the West who are established in this realization, and many of them have meetings which are often referred to as satsangs, and it can be worth going along to some of these. You just have to be careful about the psychodynamics of such groups. If you can actually interact with the teacher on a one-to-one level, well, that's great. But very often what you're getting caught up in is in some group psychodynamic, which can be quite detrimental. And I think a good teacher is one that is aware of this. A good teacher is one that does not encourage uncritical adoration. We have this strand in Hinduism, or in the Indian character even. It's sometimes dignified by the term Bhakti yoga. And it consists of a simpering and uncritical adoration of the Guru. This is no good for anybody. The Guru needs to be challenged. And if the Guru is not being challenged, then the Guru's own spiritual awareness and development is being limited. And you see this with the likes of Bhagavan Rajneesh, who latterly decided to become known as Osho. He clearly had some insight, some understanding. He was in touch with his underlying consciousness. But he had devotees that were in love with him, basically. What good is that? It's just ego. Some might argue that this love for the Guru is a way of overcoming your own ego. It's just the opposite. It's the most crass indulgence of the ego, this falling in love. Somehow you've inflated your own ego by attaching it to this wonderful being that you apparently perceive. From a spiritual point of view, it's an illness. And it has been transported to the West. And you see this, you see Westerners emulating this simpering and uncritical devotion. But there are teachers that manage to avoid this, and they don't encourage it. And that's a way of deciding whether it's worth going along to these satsangs. Any teacher which allows himself to be groomed as a guru is getting caught up in their own ego. The notion of the reality of the objects of this world arises only in ignorance. If it is realized that the objects are unreal, how does desire for them arise? Even creation and liberation are words without meaning. But this world is consciousness. If that were not so, neither I nor that could be comprehended. I mentioned this previously, that it isn't possible to comprehend objects which are different from consciousness. Consciousness can only perceive, can only comprehend things which are of its own nature. So everything is notional, even creation and liberation are words without meaning. And this is the problem with any spiritual teaching. It puts across notions, spiritual notions. It's a contradiction in terms. an oxymoron. We need to realize the notional nature, not only of our everyday reality, but also of spiritual teachings. Don't believe that spiritual teachings are any more real than anything else. Real peace is attained when one does not apprehend egosense and all the rest of its retinue, including sorrow. In deep sleep there are no dreams, and the state of deep sleep is not experienced during dreams. Even so, the apprehension of egosense, sorrow, born of the notion of world appearance, and peace, born of nirvana, do not exist at the same time. When awareness is established in itself, we're not getting caught up in our notions. All these are but notions. In truth there is neither creation nor nirvana, neither sleep nor dreams. When all these are rejected, there is real peace. We're resting in non-conceptual awareness, and it's something that we can do quite easily. We do it when we listen to music a lot of the time, as long as we're not thinking about the music and we're just enjoying it. We're experiencing the delight of a non-conceptual state, non-conceptual condition. Reality is non-conceptual.